business to the next level? With Truck.Pro, you get access to the best load board in the game, giving you the tools to find higher paying loads and streamline your operation. And right now, you can try the Pro plan free for 30 days, a $159 value. Click the link in the description to claim your free Pro plan and start making smarter moves for your trucking business today.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications. How's everybody doing this evening? What? No. What time is it? It's 1:58. How's everybody doing this afternoon? You know, when you just ain't got shit to do, you kind of lose track of time. You don't keep up with shit. So, good afternoon. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Shout out to SD Walt. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to Craig Freeman. What's going on? Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to, who is that? Shout out to Kirk in the building. Shout out to Ben Bauer representing South Jersey. Shout out to Shark Life Ventures, Kelvin Birch. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm him. What's this say? Play night out. Okay, congratulations. Glad it worked out for you. Glad it worked out for you. And you held on, you bought at the dip, and that's something that we always talk about on this channel. We look for opportunities. We don't look for when things are bad and we see red and arrows going down. We don't look at it as bad. We don't look at it as bad. We look at that as opportunity. All right. When things bottom out, there's only one place for them to go. So congrats to you for taking advantage of the opportunity. Shout out to Base Osama. Shout out to everybody representing the crib. Shout out to CTR Logistics, Box Truck Buddha representing the crib. William Vega, what's going on? William Vega was the guy who called up the other day. Who was that? Box Truck Tone? Where you been at? Got to say that moving money different. Listen, I've been telling people since I've been on YouTube to move money different. Y'all was mad at me back in 2022. Y'all was making fun of me and Amazon Relay, OTR solutions and all that stuff, and now y'all crying and complaining. You crying. Everybody want a piece of the movie, but it's two people want me to fly out to their market to train them and their crews on the moving. It's different, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody that get in the moving ain't gonna make it. It's a lot of money, but it's a different animal. So just like over the road and just like Amazon, yeah, it's a lot more money in it, but it's a different animal, and you have to be a different yo bully, your business bully got to be 100 times more than whatever you thought it was for OTR Amazon Relay. And I have someone that's in my Discord that's realizing that everything I said, it wasn't for theatrics. He's dealing with it live and in the flesh. Like you just got to be a different individual. It will turn you into a different individual. Shout out to Elias, what's going on, representing that yay area. Shout out to Sharks World, what's going on. Shout out to all the MGM, Steve Beasley, what's up, what's up. Michael Robinson, who is, all right, so boom. I'm gonna be in and out because I got a 5 o'clock appointment, so I got to get in and out. Not a live stream that I think is going to garner a large audience. We probably won't even hit 100 people, because it is pertaining to business, not necessarily all the way box trucking, but business mindset, and it is a continuation of what happened the other day because it sparked this live stream, not necessarily on what we were debating, but just, mindset and doing what's best for you. All right, doing what's best for you in your business. Even when it gets met with backlash, like one of the people that I'm talking about that's trying to start this moving company, a lot of the stuff that I told her was going to happen, it's starting to happen like literally a week after. Right, you're going to get hit with backlash. People aren't going to be understanding of the decisions that you make, but it's not for them to understand. You have to do what's best for you, and you have to do what's best for your business. You have to do what's best for you in life and in business. Your plight, your struggle, the things that your goals and the decisions that you need to make so that you can get to where you're trying to get to, that may not be the next person's. Their plight and their goals and the shit that they got to do to get to where they got to get to, it's going to be a different journey. And y'all two, understandings may not align, but that's okay. And that's what I was trying to explain to the gentleman the other day. But he wasn't getting it. I'm not upset with him. He's upset with me. I'm not upset with him because I understand why he feels the way he feels. So I can't get upset. I understand why he feels that. He just doesn't understand me. I get it. But his plight ain't mine. His fight ain't my fight. Same with business. Same just in your personal life. I get that. So I don't get mad. I don't, you can't get emotional. I don't get mad. You dig what I'm saying? So come on in. Let's have this conversation. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. I see you. But let's have this conversation real quick and let's get in and out. Business is not personal. This is chess. It's not checkers. I've been trying to explain this thing to people for the longest. Like, I'm not with the whole kumbaya. I look at business for what it is. Chess, not checkers. It's very strategy. Like I look at business, I strategize every single thing. It's competitive. So like when the brother said the other day, and I know this is a difference because we're talking about more personal based decisions, but in business, a person said, man, you're not with me, I'm not. In business, I'm not with you. I got my own company to run. And if you're in the same industry that I am and we're competing for the same opportunities, how can I be with you? I'm competing for the same customer. If a customer is looking to move and they go to Google or they go to Yelp or they go to Thumbtack or wherever they go to source a mover for this move, this one customer, one move, they have a plethora of different options. And if they call 10 different companies, our 10 companies are competing for that one customer. You're absolutely right. I'm not with you. I'm with me because I'm trying to get that job. If I happen to win that customer over, yeah, I'm taking food out your mouth. That's an opportunity that was presented to you that you didn't get because either I underbid you, I outsold you. You didn't get it, I did. So how can I be with you in a competitive landscape? I'm doing what's in the best interest of me. If the customer tells me that they're down to they have two choices, it's either me or you, and they're telling me it's me and it's another company and it happens to be you, and then I say, well, what did they quote you? Then I'm gonna say, all right, well, if you go with us right now, we can lock it in right now. I'll knock 10% off the total. How can I be with you if I'm undercutting you? I'm undercutting you because I'm trying to get the business. I don't give a fuck about you. Why? And it's doubt. If you taking it personal, you feel a certain type of way, then business is not for you because there's no way we can kumbaya when we're competing for the same customer. If I allow myself to be empathetic and sympathetic to you and yours, I'll never get nowhere. I'll never make no money. When you sitting at the helm of a business, you got the business to sustain. The business has to make enough money so that it can pay you so that you can sustain your personal living. Then you got a bunch of employees that are looking to you to keep them busy so that they can take care of their family. So if I continue to let shit walk out the door because you know what, man, I know we crushing Buddy. I know, man, he having a hard time. I'm just beating him 40 ways going north. Man, let me just let a few of these go through. Nah, bro, that's just not the way it works. And this is why I can confidently sit up here, and when people I see somebody else say, "No, he's not with us," I'm not with you. If you don't align with my thoughts and my beliefs, then you're right. I'm with me and the people that align with me. And I'm okay with that because I know everybody ain't going to agree on everything. I'm wise enough, I'm old enough, I'm tenured enough to know that you cannot please everybody and you can't make everybody happy. You can't make your employees happy, you can't make customers happy. You got to do what's in the best interest of you for your personal and your business and not worry about what people think. And if people no longer want to, align themselves with you, uh cool. I'm okay with that because I understand their reasoning may come with validity. His reasoning the other day, and shout out to him, I appreciate him coming up. It was valid. It's a more personal thing with him. It wasn't that with me, but I get it though. So first thing you gotta understand is that business is not about making friends. It's not a popularity contest. You're gonna be the most hated. Why? Because you're gonna do things that your employees ain't gonna agree with. You may have to tell them no. Man, I need to take this day off. Well, I need you too. I need you to meet the needs of the business. It's a busy time of the month. You asking to take off the first of the month during peak moving season. It's July 1st, and you asking me to take the day off. You know better than that. I know. So when you tell that employee no, you think that once they either get off the phone with you or they leave your office, you're gonna be the nicest guy in the world. No, it's gonna be, man, fuck Mark. Bitch ass nigga. Fuck that bitch ass nigga. See, I understand that because I was once an employee myself. And I understood how sometimes when things didn't go my way, or let's say I was reprimanded or I was tardy because I couldn't make it on time because I missed the train or whatever the case may be. When I was reprimanded by my supervisor or my manager, what I didn't understand as an adolescent, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, that it was just business. It wasn't personal. Even the tone and the way they did it, it was straightforward to the point. There was no sympathy, or they weren't empathetic to, why I might have been tardy. Listen, I'm juggling promotions at night. I'm a full-time student and I work here full time, and I just got caught leaving school trying to get here on time, and it could have been something just simple as something that was beyond my control. Somebody falling on the tracks on the red line in the subway tunnel, and now we just sitting there because a guy fell on the tracks and got electrocuted. So now they stopped everything, and I'm sitting under a subway tunnel. It's nothing I can do. They don't care. Why? Because they needed me there at 2 o'clock to meet the needs of the business, and because I wasn't there, it came with a write up. I understood it later on in life once I started my own business, and there's peak times where I need my people to meet the needs of the business. And I understand why they would feel the way they would feel if I told them no. A lot of people who try to run their business and be liked by everybody are the people you see that really have a hard time struggling, that what really struggle a lot. In some businesses, you have to rule with an iron fist. Like I was telling the person in my Discord that I'm coaching, I told her that initially. With moving, you're dealing with a certain type of demographic of people that are doing this type of work. These aren't the type of people that you can, like, the people that work at Starbucks. These ain't the same type of people. It's a different type of a person. So you have to handle it a little bit differently. So you're not going to be the most popular person when you're making unfavorable decisions, or you're making decisions that doesn't suit someone else's fancy. Every move you make isn't going to sit well with everybody, and that's normal. right? I didn't vote the way I voted, and I'm using what happened the other day as a segue, because this is good, because it's just something in business that you're not going to please everybody. I went the way I went for my own personal and business reasons. It was two reasons, right? That's it. Strictly business. That's it, and that's all. You can't spend your life trying to please others. You'll end up broke and frustrated. Period. The real winners are the people that are strong enough, that understand, that don't care what people think, right? That can make the tough calls, they can stand on them, they can articulate, and they can substantiate the reason why they made the decisions that they made. You're not gonna come up here and make me change my feelings or my thoughts. Why? Because when I make a decision, it's well thought out anyway. I don't make decisions at this point in my life. I'm not making decisions willy nilly. Everything is strategically thought out. So I've already went through the whole thought processes. I'm not like I'm way beyond the years of caring what you think. And in business, you can't care what another person thinks. You have to do what's best for you and yours. You can't live for the crowd. A lot of us that that as my subscriber base resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? We all come from similar environments where loyalty is everything. But it's a difference from being loyal to your people and sacrificing yourself for the approval of others. It's a difference. If you live for everyone else's approval, you're gonna always be a prisoner. You'll always be a prisoner. The truth of the matter is, some people ain't gonna never be satisfied. No matter how much effort you put in, no matter what you do. And sometimes that crowd can be flat out wrong. The situation that happened the other day, there was really no right or wrong. I think he was really emotional, but I understand why. And that's why I could sit back patiently and just let him have the floor. I understand why he's passionate as his people, but his plight is not my plight. I understand my position of influence, and I also understand what it's going to take for my people to do better, and that's a mindset shift. I understand why my people's mindset is the way it is. It's years and years and years and years and years of conditioning, pitting us against each other. If a large percentage of my people, I'm talking about black people, just shifted their mindset, then things would be a lot better. Even if we shifted our mindset now to where we were as a people back, let's say like in the 50s and the 60s, you would see a big difference when we were more community driven. My plight and that gentleman's plight is two different. It's different. I can't fight somebody else's battle. I'm fighting my own. I don't get people who get mad at people because they make decisions that are best for them and theirs. So you shouldn't get mad at a person who makes a decision that's best for them as an individual, their family, and the people that resonate with them. I just let her be mad. I'm too old to be getting arguing and shit. Like, I'm not gonna do all that. Especially when I'm still gonna have the same stance anyway. I'm gonna articulate the reason why I do things. If you like it, cool. If you don't, I you living your life, you paying your bills. They're not responsible for your outcome, just like you're not responsible for theirs. As a business owner, you're responsible for yourself, the business, and the people that are up under you. You have a responsibility to make sure work is coming in so that you can, one, keep your people paid and employed, because the moment you lose opportunity, you lose workers. Your obligation is what's in front of you. Your obligation is what's in front of you. We've seen a lot of brothers over the years, and I appreciate these brothers that fought battles for the greater good. But let's look at the outcome. They fell on the sword. Granted, someone needs to fight these battles. Someone has to, take the risk and, fight for the greater good. But everybody's not going to do that. Right? But those individuals that do, they all got the same outcome. They fall on the sword either by their own people or outside forces that coerce their own people to do the dirty work for them. And I'm wise enough to know that in today's society, it'll be 10 times worse, because where we were 60, 70 years ago, just mindset is way different. And it was happening then. It'll be way worse now. Something that I was also would, if I could have had a chance the other day to really get a chance to expound on, what we were kind of debating, and this relates to business and life as well, as, boundaries. As a young lady in the Discord I'm referring to, because I'm kind of meshing this all together, is boundaries. There's certain things that she's dealing with because boundaries aren't set. The reason I went the way I went in November was because there's no boundaries. And in that situation, as far as border boundaries, people just coming over here because they want to. I come from a city where I respect boundaries. I respect boundaries within my company, within business, within relationships, as far as a country, because I know the importance of boundaries because of my upbringing, where I come from. It's just certain boundaries that I'm just not going to cross, and I'm going to respect the reason why those boundaries are in place. I'm talking to a young lady in the Discord who's trying to start a moving company. Something that she just encountered recently was someone trying to use leverage against her because they know she's in a tough situation. But there's no boundaries in place. See, if boundaries would have been in place, they wouldn't have dared to fix their lip or even try to do to me what there's doing, what that individual's trying to do to her, because those boundaries would be put in place. Listen, I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your boss. And they would understand that not to cross that boundary. I appreciate boundaries. I come from a city where boundaries are very important and we respect boundaries. I knew coming up in the 90s, I couldn't go past 83rd Street. That was the imaginary boundary. I knew what would happen if I went past 83rd. Couldn't go past 83rd. Couldn't go past 89th. Couldn't go past Commercial. This is the boundary. This boundary is here for a reason. Same thing with the border. Same thing in business. Certain boundaries, it's certain lines you don't cross. Real leaders are going to lose friends. I talk about this from time to time. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose acquaintances. What you shouldn't lose is focus. If you are on a mission to be successful, become the best that you can be, then you should be focused on that and that only. Whoever's not with it, fuck them. Goes back to what we're talking about. At that moment, I'm focused on something. If you're not with it, then you're not with me. If you can't respect what I'm working towards, especially if it's something positive, and you're trying to deter me from that, or you're being negative, or you're not doing anything to help the cause, even if it's just support, or whatever the case may be. If you're detrimental to what I'm focused on, especially if it's something that's positive, then no, you're not with me. And I'm the type of individual, I'm cool with that. It's what it is. As a leader, you gotta accept the fact not everybody gonna like your moves. You're gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose supporters. But if you stay focused on your goals, you're gonna attract the right people. You're gonna attract the people that resonate with you. Like-minded individuals. Something I always tell people that are new, that are coming up. Like, for instance, this is about 2-3 weeks ago, the guy that called in on a call-in show, and he's trying to talk to me. You could tell that guy was desperate. He was desperate. His stepmom is dispatching him, she taking him on a ride. He don't know shit. He's admitting to it. But what's happening? He's on the call with me, and some girl back to 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 back. He's trying to talk to me. Even if she doesn't know that he's trying to talk to me, what would possess a person to call that a person that many times? Back to 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 back. That person is detrimental to what he has going on. That person ain't with him. That person is against him. That person is a distraction. Prime example. Why? Because that person will take him off his focus for some dumb shit. Because you're not answering the phone. You know the man on the road, he's trying to start a cargo van business. He's working. What the fuck is so important that you're going to call a motherfucker that many times and you can't text him? The reason why you not texting him is because it's not that important. If you call a person and they don't answer, you send a text message. You don't send a text message, you calling, You calling for your own personal reasons because they not picking up the phone. Dumb shit. That person gonna be detrimental to that young man. That person ain't with him. That person is against him. When I do content, like the young man said, he said, "Man, your trucking shit, you've helped me so much. Man, I got a $20,000 move, but I'm not watching you no more because of your personal political decision." Cool. Why? Because I got people that are also watch me that feel the same way he feels about my trucking content that totally disagree with that decision I made. But they still support me. Why? Because they support the fact that I have a freedom of choice. They support and they respect the authenticity of it. Because some people would say, "Hey man, don't tell nobody that because it may not favor well." But I can tell a person that and articulate why. It's only two reasons. If you're a Christian, in my mind, one of the reasons to me is an abomination. So make my decision a lot easier, right? But everybody has a right to their own opinion. Everybody has a right to their own choice. I don't get mad at people for choosing what they want to do. Two reasons. At least you could appreciate the authenticity of it and being the transparency and not really caring about how you feel. I'm too old to care about what the next person feels. That's a young character trait. I'm unk status. Gotta embrace it. You don't let somebody else control or let someone else's emotions control your decision making. Never. Mm-mm. You know why? Because at the end, you're the one who got to deal with the consequences. I had a customer once, and I told this story before, who very early on, this is back when I was still on the truck, um, just was so adamant about getting this couch in, and I just knew it wouldn't fit. Don't worry about the wall. We'll just patch and paint it. I just gotta get the couch in. Don't worry about the wall. I know it looks close. Don't worry about it. We'll patch and paint it. Listen to the customer. Of course, the wall got scratched, little nick in the wall, whatever. Got it in. When it came time to pay, well, what about the wall? Well, what about it? You said don't worry about it. We told you, or I told you it was not gonna make it in without scratching it. We took the legs just too tight. Well, you're the professional. I hired you. I know I told you that, but shit, you're the professional. You didn't have to do it. So how are we gonna handle the wall? Threw me for a loop because this is the same person that told me don't worry about the wall. I learned a valuable lesson that day. Follow your first man. You can't appease everybody. You can't make a person happy, and the person they'll tell you one thing and then turn their back on you. If I would have followed my first mind based on my experience level at that time, it would have been to just say no and stand on it, regardless of what the customer thought. But me, being young and naive and still learning, I wanted to make the customer happy because somewhere I heard that the customer was always right. But then I realized, not in this industry, they not. That customer was right. I am the professional. You hired me. I could have just said no. And yes, they probably would have been upset. They probably would have wrote a 3-star review because now the couch is just sitting at the curb or sitting in the backyard or sitting in the basement or sitting in the lobby or wherever it would have been sitting at. And I knew they would have been unhappy, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't have cost me any money. It was going to cost me though, because they weren't going to write no 5-star review. In this industry, the customer ain't always right. This ain't hospitality. This is something I train people. Excuse me, I coach them, but I talk to them. In this industry, especially final mile and moving, the customer is not always right. They're not. Hospitality, yes. It don't cost you nothing if you are running an Airbnb or a hotel and you running a small hotel or motel and you got 100 rooms to, if a person calls the front office, hey, we want fluffier pillows or we want clean sheets or we want more towels. You got hundreds of thousands of towels. It's not costing you nothing to come make up a new bed, put some new linens on the bed or bring them some fresh towels. That shit ain't costing you. It's not really costing you much money if you're running a fast food restaurant and they tell you these fries ain't hot and then you toss those fries and you give them a new batch of fries. It's costing you, but not like it's costing you if a person says, hey, don't worry about the floor. Just get it in here, slide it across the floor, and you know that, hey, it's going to scratch the floor, and Jimmy's hardwood, when they come in and give a quote or an estimate, or Mike's hardwood, when they come in and get his quote estimate, they're going to have the same spiel. Listen, in order for us to fix this small part, we got to redo the whole floor because this is going to look newer than the rest of the floor. So in order for it to be consistent, we're going to have to do the whole floor. That 20-cent loss or 30-cent loss on giving the customer a new batch of fries is not the same as a $5,000 claim, because you're the professional and the customer doesn't know any better. The customer thinks, hey, you can slide the refrigerator across the floor, but the customer doesn't know that when you took the refrigerator off the truck and it was setting on the concrete, they happened to set it on a small little fine piece of concrete. And now it's wedged in that small little wheel. And now when you set it on the floor and you push it, every time that wheel rolls, it's putting a scratch in that floor. Customer doesn't know that because the customer doesn't do this shit day in, day out to know that. So the customer's not always right. So if a customer says, no, just sit the refrigerator down and just push it, no. You have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And although the customer or your employee or your spouse or your kids or your loved ones or whoever, if you are in a leadership position, the shit falls on you. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. When you make a decision that benefits everybody, everybody cheering for you. But when you make a decision that's bad, it's you the one that's left holding the bag that's got to fix it. The shit all falls on you. If you win, it's on you. If you lose, it's on you. So why would you let somebody else make choices for you or influence your decisions? Shout out to Buddha. Appreciate that super chat.
Sweet.
I don't let nobody. All facts well said. Appreciate that super chat. Shout out to everybody from the crib. I don't let nobody influence my decisions. Every decision that I make, trust me, it's thought out. And I make some tough decisions. I made a tough decision recently in my Discord that didn't favor well with a lot of people. It was not personal. It was a decision that had to be made, and I knew it wasn't going to favor well. I made that decision that I made back in November. My OG is a 71-year-old black woman. And anybody that knows anything about politics, that old generation, you can't tell them nothing. So, how do you think that conversation went for months between me and her leading up to that? And even afterwards. She wasn't very happy, but the decision that I made was best for all of us. It's something that one of my older cousins told me. You know, when you grow up and you're young, your parents are taking care of you. As you get older and as your parents get older, you have to come back and reciprocate that. You have to start taking care of them, even though they're financially set. My mother's financially set, and I'm not talking about from a financial perspective. But older people kind of get stuck in their ways. You know, they get lost with technology. Sometimes politics, they get stuck in their ways, even when it comes to like, decision making, as far as like contracts, if something has to get done with the house or when it's time to go out and get her a new car. People prey on older people and take advantage of them. And that's where you have to come in and make decisions and, be that liaison that handles certain business for them because people prey on senior citizens. That decision was something that was for the betterment, not just me, but for my family, business, investments, future. Even though she totally was against it, from a current perspective, in that situation, certain things that she didn't understand because she's looking at things from a tunnel vision view, I'm looking at things from a full perspective. I have to make the best decision that's going to suit us all. In business and in life, you have to own your decisions. That's the accountability. That's the leadership. You have to be willing to take the backlash. When you make these decisions, you have to make them, get at eye contact, keep your chin up, keep your chest out and your shoulders back, be assertive, be firm, and stand on it, regardless of what people think. Regardless of what people think, choosing what's best for you, even when people get mad. Now, I'm not saying just wholeheartedly be selfish. What I'm saying is you have to be wise. When it comes to it, you have to make decisions that move you, and move your legacy forward. So when a person says, hey, you're not with us, I may not be with you. Just as well as you may not be with me because our fights are different. Our battles are different. Our journeys are different. I understand it's a game being played. Play the game. Play the game to win. No one is going to have your back when the shit get thick. I'm old enough and I'm wise enough and I've been through enough to know that. Ain't nobody going to have your back. It's just like I tell these guys as far as this trucking and box truck shit that believe in this hope shit. When I hold them accountable and I give them the harsh criticism that they deem as hate because someone else is giving them hope. Hope ain't gonna get you to the promised land, big dog. It's just It's just not gonna get you there. You got to do what's best for you, because the same person that sold you that hope, I swear to God, and we have the case studies. When you realize, once you come in and you realize that hope wasn't enough, or when motherfucker tell you, man, stop sitting around, just do it, that ain't enough. And then you just believe in that shit and you just come in here and do it. And then you get in the thick of it, like you see so many of these guys do. Look at the guy, like somebody just said in the comment, who did the same shit, just came in. No understanding, just off the hope, just off the hype. Then look, those same people ain't gonna have your back. They ain't gonna give you your money back. When you get fucked up, they ain't gonna reach in their pocket to help you. You're gonna be on your own. And then you're gonna realize that, but by that time it's gonna be too late. This is why you gotta do what's best for you. These people ain't gonna help you. They finessing you. Everybody is out for themselves. As tougher, listen, the tougher shit get, the worse it's gonna get. Now, what these young boys don't understand, that's in their 20s, that want to fight it, they ain't lived long enough to really realize it. They ain't seen enough. Shit don't get easy, it get tougher. How can you help somebody else and you ain't even in a position to help yourself yet? So, yeah, you got to be selfish before you can be selfless. And you have to think for self, for the betterment of you and yours. Ain't nobody going to guilt me into no box. Why? Because I got a mind of my own, a strong mind. I don't give a fuck what the plight, the story, from a business perspective, a personal perspective, whatever. Can't nobody guilt me into changing my mind on something. You can't guilt me into staying in a box that I done outgrown. I align with the people that align with me. Whether they be black, brown, green, red, blue, black, Hispanic, Chinese, Asian, Honduran, Ecuadorian, goddamn Philippine, Pakistani. I align with the people that align with me. But if I have a difference of opinion with someone, whether it be personal, be in business, I respect their opinion. But I'm always going to do what's best for me. Call it selfish, call it whatever. Because at the end of the day, if I change my viewpoint and I go help somebody else, and then I get in a bad situation, will they be in a situation to help me? And even if they are in a situation because I switched and started to help them on their journey or whatever, their plight, and then I get in a tough situation, are they going to reciprocate that? 9.5 times out of 10, no. They're not. I told a story on the Wise Men one time, long time ago, sitting at the blackjack table, high limits. I come in there, I clean up 2 shoes. It's me and this one other guy. He's losing, I'm winning every hand damn near. I win 10 G's, 2 shoes. He's losing. I get up, cash up. Man, bro, I can't play the dealer by myself. Please, man, just one more shoe. My stupid ass, my dumb ass at that time, I stay, all right, brother, I'm going to help you out. The next shoe, I ended up losing the 2 G's out of the 10 I was up. I could have walked away then, didn't. Now I'm chasing 2 G's. That wasn't mine to begin with. I could have still walked away to 8. I ended up losing the 10 plus 10 of my own. Guess what? The card shifted. So now I'm losing and he's winning. He done won all his money back. He up, and guess what? He walked away from the table. He didn't give a fuck about me. Learned a valuable lesson. I should have left that table and said, fuck dude. Because he did the same to me when those cards shifted. I learned a valuable lesson. Only thing the fucking casino gave me was a goddamn steak dinner. He got his black ass up and he walked away. That was one of those valuable lessons that I learned. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Because what you'll do for someone out of the kindness of your heart, they ain't gonna do it for you. I remember in 2019, a buddy, I forget whether his lights or his gas got cut off. I gave him the money. Never paid me back. Pandemic came a year later, ran it up. We weren't talking, when you loan motherfuckers some money, they distance themselves, especially when they owe you money, that communication, it stops. They know they owe you, right? So it's tough to have a conversation when you know you owe a person, right? Pandemic hit a year later, motherfuckers running it up. Yeah, I still see you on Facebook. Y'all running it up. Where my show paper at? Why you ain't ran me my show paper? Ain't ran me my show paper. Don't burn your bridges. Mom always said, never burn your bridges. Person you burn your bridge with, you're going to need them way before they need you. Recently, 6 years later, I get a FaceTime. Man, I need your help. After that FaceTime, I get a coin drop. You know when that sound when you get that cash app, you hear that noise, them coins dropping. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? It was that person. Now you need me again, you gonna run me that paper. When you had it, you didn't think to run me my paper back. You been had my paper. See, when you needed me, I was there. When you got the money back, fuck Mark. I'll pay Mark when I need him again. Listen, bro. At the end of the day, shout out to Buddy from the other day, Pop Sosa. I'm not mad at him. All right. Clearly he said what he said, but I understand why he feels the way he feels. It's his people. I get it. But that's not my plight. And clearly, based on what we saw, a lot of American Hispanics feel similar to me. But he also stated that. There was a news segment here in Chicago in the midst of the pandemic when that great migration of people from the South was coming up here. And we were talking about this in the Discord. Shout out to Costa, where when they were trying to place these migrants in 2023 in different communities, none of the communities wanted them. The predominantly white upscale community in Chicago, Lincoln Park, Bucktown, Wicker Park, they were open. No, you cannot place them in our areas. They were very verbal about it. You can't put them over here. It's going to be an eyesore for the community. This is a affluent area. We have $5 and $8, $9 million homes. We don't want that shit over here. Cool. All right, well, fuck it. We're going to go to the black communities. We're going to revamp some of these abandoned schools that became abandoned under the leadership of Rahm Emanuel, and we're gonna rehab them, and we're gonna turn them into large missions. The black community stood tall and said, "Hey, nah, We don't want them over here. So y'all want to spend the money in our community. All these abandoned places been abandoned for years. Little girls getting pulled in them and getting raped. But now that you got all these illegals coming over here, now you want to put the investment into rehabbing these abandoned buildings that's been abandoned, that's been an eyesore, that little kids have been getting pulled in and getting raped for years to put these illegals in here? Nah, we ain't having it. So then they say, all right, well, the Hispanic community, they'll accept them, right? Because they're all Hispanic. I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. And me and Costa was talking about this the other day in the Discord. I will never forget this shit. The Hispanic community stood tall. They did a press conference. The leader of that community, I will never forget this because it gave me goosebumps. He said, look, this Hispanic guy on the news. He said, look, check it out. We ain't against you, but we ain't with you either. We don't want you over here in our community. I was like, wow, this is a Hispanic guy. They don't want him either. What the fuck? And I had to do the research to understand why. The main reason was because they were doing what was best for them. Why? One, they came over here the right way. It cost them time and it cost them money, a lot of sacrifice. Two, now that they're over here, those first generations have gotten a chance to live the American dream. They've inherited a sense of entitlement that most Americans have, right? And they know that these individuals are going to come over here and outwork them and possibly displace them eventually. And then their kids are going to make it harder for their kids. So it was a personal decision. And these are their people that look just like them, that have their roots, that have their lineage. And they said, we don't want them here. And the reason was for personal and business reason that suited their best interest. And sure, they got called sellouts. They were mad. And just like this, when I say certain shit like this, you know, people gonna get mad. They're gonna unfollow you, or whatever the case may be. They may say, you're not with us. You got to stand tall. And you got to be with the mission and be with the vision. And man, fuck all that, big dog. I'm with the people that's with me. The people that's with me, we all align. We understand that at the end of the day, I'm going to say it one more time. Everybody that goes and joins these missions and shit, they end up and fight for the betterment. They are the ones that always fall on the sword and nobody come to save them. You think for you and yours. The person that goes and makes a sacrifice, I swear to you, ain't nobody gonna come save you. I'm with the people that resonate with me. There's nothing wrong with choosing what's best for you. Your legacy, your business, your peace are worth more than anybody's approval. All right? I told you it was going to be short. I got an appointment, so I need to get up, get dressed. I hope everybody has a good day. I'll try to get one more of these live streams in. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to everybody. William. Shout out to King ATL, JMR, T Beezy, Release, Slick Turbo. What up? All right. I'll see y'all. Peace.